Hello and welcome to Bama Red Raw and Uncut Talk. I'm your host, Pat Hurd, better known as the Poor Widow's Boy. Let's get straight to the message. And yes, I understand you're perhaps busy and all. I may have caught you at a bad time, and for that, I do apologize. But hear me out. I promise I won't hold you long. I need you to do something for me if you don't mind. If you're God, and I say your God because when it's personal to you, you can use the soft personal pronoun your, because he's not just your first person, but he's Christ, the omnipotent. There is none higher. You may call him the good shepherd. Some may call him the light of the world. Others of you may call him the bread of life. I heard one old mother back at United Pentecostal say that he was her redeemer. Yes, that part there. Where Mama Pearl was battling colon cancer, he was a doctor in a sick room. Somebody knows the what and the who I'm talking about. I can recall just recently, after burying my loving brother, I cried all through the night until the master stopped by and held me close to him as he gently wiped my tears away. You see, he was my comforter and my bridge over troubled waters. What he is to you, only you know. And you know what? It's quite okay to keep it between you and your God, what he is to you. Mama Pearl always told me that God would never bring you to and not bring you through. Now, the favor I asked from you previously. If your God has been good to you, and you know what you know, that if it was not for his tender mercy and precious grace, your life will be a living hell. Even now, it's painful to take a look in your rearview mirror for some of you. And I'll be the first to say I bear witness. I know the living hell I've been through, but God. Because if anybody knows, you and I know our own story. You know what he brought you through and out of. You just don't look like what you've been through. But underneath all the makeup and the clothing, your battle scars are there. You see, some of us needs a reminder when we get weak and overwhelmed with life's struggles. The scars are there for us to remind us that if it had not been for God, you can fill in the blanks. And also, for those of you that are in the midst of a storm, you too, put your hands in the air and say, but God. If some of you can't put your hand in the air, or perhaps you're embarrassed to raise your hand, just nod your head up and down slowly. But don't forget, when you were catching pure hell and your life looked like hell, your God didn't care how you or your life looked. He was not embarrassed of you. He stepped right in, even when we don't deserve his mercy, kindness, generosity, grace, favor, and love. He still bestows it upon us. I don't know about you, but he's not finished with little me yet. You see, I don't know about you. I know I'm a sinner, and nor do I hit the mark. Like Donnie McClurkin says, we fall down, but we get back up. But I'm trying to do right, to make it right, to make it in. Ooh, baby. My mission has not been fulfilled yet. What I'm trying to say is this, kinfolk. Until we die or Christ returns, God's not finished with you yet. But I can tell you a secret that you already know, can I? We all have a signed and sealed death warrant with a timestamp. Let me say that again. We all have a signed and sealed death warrant with a timestamp. You see, that dash in between birth and death, yeah, that right there, use it wisely. You see, time is running out, and tomorrow is not promised to no man. I understand you've made future plans, you've set goals, but hear me out, please. You know, just the other day, I lost a good friend on the job. We had just had lunch together, like we always do. He was full of excitement about his remarkable invention of his that was now about to be marketed. It was no more than 3 hours later that same friend of mine, whom I had lunch with, now lay dead on the job. I say that to say this simile. Death can occur totally unexpectedly. Just as a thief may surprise you or I during the night, you must be prepared for the inevitable. Death is a lottery in which we all possess the winning ticket. If you don't have a personal relationship with your God, what are you waiting on? Somebody talk back to me. The Master has his arms open wide for you. Go to him. Don't put it off. Remember, tomorrow is not promised to no man. Make it right, family. Go to him while you're still 10 toes up. It's your move. He's waiting on you. Go to him while you still have a chance. Make it right. Make it right, kinfolk. There's something about that name, Jesus. Good God Almighty.